Hey everybody, Cat's Camper here. Just a quick review of our Winegard Wi-Fi extender. I have the model number in the title. I don't remember what it is right off the top of my head here. We got this. This is the one that also has the 4G cellular antenna in it. Real easy to install. It's super lightweight. It's only 3 pounds. It has a router and everything's built right up here into the antenna part. So you mount this, you know, you pre-drill your holes. There's 4 feet on it. Kind of pre-drill them, put some Dicor all around the holes, set the and around where the feet are going to be, set the feet down, screw it in, and put a ton of Dicor around it. Little note about the Dicor, I sent them an email asking them how cold this stuff would work. I mean, within minutes the guy got back to me telling me you can use this stuff down to about 40 degrees. So I just had to find a stretch of days. But anyways, the thing's real lightweight. You just screw it down with 4 screws. Use a lot of Dicor to keep it from leaking through your roof. Then I ran the wire right down here. Sorry, I've got sun, so I'm having trouble seeing my display a little bit. I know you've heard that before. But there we go. Then I just ran the wire. And I use a lot of Dicor around the wire so it wouldn't be up here flapping around on the roof when we're driving. And then it comes with this little cap here. I had a hollow wall downstairs. I used a long flexible drill bit and drilled up through the roof and ran this downstairs into the camper. And once again, I use quite a bit of the Dicor to make sure it doesn't leak. This cap is nice. I kind of mounted this thing up here on my roof. I've got quite a bit of space behind it. There's the air conditioner. And this, in case I want to put a dish antenna up here, and that needs quite a bit of space. So I figure I could put the dish right there in front of the air conditioner, and then I can use that same hole to run the cables down into that same wall. So this has been on a 2,000-mile trip with us already, held up real well, and it was in the mid-40s for like 2 days. I put that Dicor on. You can see the self-leveling Dicor spread out real nicely on it. Let's go downstairs. I'll show you what's downstairs inside the camper. It's a real simple system, and then I'll talk about it downstairs too. All right, so inside the camper, so my wire runs right down here, and this is just a simple switch. And then the rest of the wire runs down the wall underneath to where the batteries are to power this antenna. Up there in that dome that I was showing you outside, there's a router built inside of that, and then there's 4 antennas. 2 are for the Wi-Fi, and then the other 2 are for 4G cellular. You can switch the SD card. You have to do it up on the roof. You know, there's nothing inside but this switch. But up on the roof, if you want to use a different cellular company than what they provide, you can. Right now, I just went with the Winegard. You buy a certain amount of gigabytes. I think it was $30 for, say, 3 gigabytes or something. A little expensive, but that's good for 30 days. And that's about when my wife and we're not spending a lot of internet time. So that's about all we really need when we're on a camping trip, and you have 30 days to use it or lose it. It doesn't roll over. And if you need more, you can just add more to it. The Wi-Fi works pretty good. I'm sitting here in my driveway, and nothing picks up my internet out here in the camper. Between my aluminum siding and this camper, nothing gets inside the camper. With this hooked up, I can log into my own Wi-Fi system, and it all works real nice. I get a nice signal out here. On the road, you know, I've read comments, people complaining you can't hook up to Wi-Fi at campgrounds. Well, this is my second one. My other camper had the Wi-Fi Ranger, I think it's called, and that had the same problem. You know, each campsite is different, and we were in the KOA in Nashville, and it was an open Wi-Fi system, but you still had to log into it. So when you found it on the browser, you know, it said open, and because of that, this system wouldn't log into the Wi-Fi. If it had said private, it would have brought up the sign-in screen, but it wouldn't trigger that. So you're going to have some campgrounds where it's going to work great, other campgrounds it's not. Same thing with our, what was it, Wi-Fi Ranger Pro. I can't remember the name of the other system that was on my camper. We had the same thing. Some campgrounds that work great, you logged in once and you just hooked your phones and everything to that. Other campgrounds, you would have to keep logging in, and other campgrounds, you could never log in. This is the same way. You know, you can't build these things for every single campground. The different campgrounds have different systems. Some are going to work great, some aren't. With the 4G, well, who cares? Usually the campground Wi-Fi is kind of crappy anyway, whether you're hooked up to it or not. And the 4G, we can actually have it running while we're driving down the road also. And the nice part about that is we have T-Mobile. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If we're in an area where the T-Mobile's not working, well, we're using the Winegard system right now, but you can use AT&T. I can't remember the other brand that you can hook up to this. I don't know if you can use Verizon or not, but you can switch networks and maybe they have better coverage in that area. And same in the campground, you know, to heck with the campground Wi-Fi when you can just use the cellular and have your own private signal. I've read online people complain, well, to go up to reset the system, you have to go up to the roof. Well, you don't. In the instructions, it tells you, you know, you turn the switch on and off a few times, within a certain amount of time, it'll reboot the, oops, I'm sorry. It'll reboot the system for you. The indicator lights are up there, but, you know, do you really need them? You turn it on, you give it a couple minutes to boot up, just like your home router, and then you hook up to it going through the IP address. I think the system works real well. I recommend it so far, and maybe I'll do another review on it when we're in a campground somewhere, and I'll show you the browser and everything like that. Super easy installation. You know, the roof part, screw it in, run the wire down, and hook it up to your battery. That's all there is to it. So the Winegard Wi-Fi 4G internet system. Not the greatest video, sorry about that, but thanks, and keep an eye on us on katscamper.com, KATSKAMPER.com. Happy New Year.